She once shared roasted corn with me under the mango tree. I trusted her with my secrets, my dreams, my life. But the same girl I called sister tried to poison my drink, smiling sweetly as she handed me the cup that could have ended everything. How it all started. Mabel and I were closer than real sisters. We grew up in the same dusty street. We played ampe together. We fetched water from the same broken tap. We even ate from the same plate many times. Our mothers sold okra and pepper side by side at the local market. Life was hard, but dreams made it sweet. I told Mabel, one day I will open a shop and sell beautiful things. She would laugh and say, I will sew clothes for big madams. We were poor, but we were rich in love. Then one day, everything changed. A visitor from the city came to our school. She watched me solve maths questions faster than anyone. A few months later, a scholarship letter arrived. Food training at a vocational business center in Abuja. I could learn how to run a business. I cried the night before I left. Mabel hugged me tight and whispered, don't forget me. I promised I never would. Life in Abuja was hard. At first, I didn't even have enough money to eat properly. I learned sewing during the day, business classes at night. I lived in a tiny room and washed clothes to survive. But God helped me. Step by step, I got better. I started sewing simple dresses for women in the neighborhood. I saved every naira. Then I rented a small corner shop, just a table and a sewing machine. From there, small miracles grew. My dresses became popular. More customers came. I added hair braiding to my shop. I learned to fix nails too. Before I knew it, I was running a full salon. Hair, sewing, nails. All this time, I never forgot Mabel. I wrote her letters. I told her everything. The struggles, the victories, the prayers. I begged her to write back, but her replies came late and shorter and colder. I told myself, maybe she's just busy too. I didn't know her heart was changing. After 6 long years, I returned home. I came with a small used car. I wore a clean, simple dress. My hands were soft from work, not hard from fetching water anymore. In the trunk of my car were gifts, wrappers, perfumes, a brand new sewing kit, all meant for Mabel. As I drove into our dusty street, children ran after my car, shouting my name. Old mothers clapped their hands and blessed me loudly. It felt like a dream. Then I saw Mabel, standing by the corner. She smiled, but her smile didn't touch her eyes. I ran to her. I hugged her. She hugged me back, but lightly, like I was a stranger. That night, my mother made a small welcome feast, jollof rice and fried plantain. Neighbors danced and sang for me. Mabel sat at the edge, smiling a little, but looking away often. I felt the change, heavy in the air, but I still didn't want to believe it. The street began to whisper. She thinks she's better now, some said. She forgot the people who suffered with her, others added. And whose mouth carried the whispers? Mabel's. When I heard, I cried in my room alone. I had loved her like my own blood. Still I tried. I gave her new clothes. I offered her a spot in my shop in Abuja. I even promised to pay for her tailoring training again. She smiled and nodded, but behind her smile, her heart was making a different plan, a wicked plan. One Saturday afternoon, Mabel called me. My sister, she said, laughing over the phone. Let's go and celebrate your success. My treat. I smiled. Maybe she had finally forgiven me for growing faster than her. Maybe we could go back to how we used to be. We went to a small restaurant near the market. It was nothing fancy, just wooden tables, plastic chairs, and the smell of fried meat in the air. We sat at a corner table and ordered jollof rice and soft drinks. While waiting for the food, I excused myself to use the washroom. I left my bag and my drink on the table, trusting Mabel with everything. But what I didn't know was that in those few minutes, Mabel pulled out a small packet from her purse. She quickly poured powder into my drink and stirred it with a straw. She wiped her hands and smiled when I came back. What she didn't see was a young girl, Chinye, a street hawker, watching her from the next table, her eyes wide with shock. When the food arrived, Mabel pushed the plate toward me excitedly. Eat, eat, she said. I laughed and reached for the drink, but before the glass touched my lips, Chinye brushed past me, whispering so fast it sounded like a prayer. Don't drink it. She put something inside. My hand froze in the air. My heart started beating loud in my ears. I looked at Mabel's smiling face, and I knew I had been dining with someone who wanted me dead. I smiled back at Mabel, hiding my fear. I gently put the drink down and picked up the spoon instead. Eat first, Mabel said, her voice too bright. You too, I said, pushing the plate toward her. She laughed nervously. I'm not hungry anymore, she said, waving her hand. But you were hungry enough to invite me, I said softly. People at nearby tables turned to look. The restaurant was getting quiet. Chinyer stood nearby, pretending to sell groundnuts, but her eyes stayed on Mabel. Mabel pushed her chair back like she wanted to leave. But before she could stand, the restaurant owner, Mama Ngozi, walked over. What is going on? She asked. Chinyer spoke quickly. Auntie, I saw her put something in the drink when sister went to the toilet. The restaurant fell silent. Mama Ngozi turned to Mabel and said, if you didn't do anything, drink from the same glass. Mabel's hands trembled. She refused. Tears filled her eyes. She shouted, You're trying to kill me. People gasped. Some shouted, If the drink is clean, drink it. They cried. Under pressure, Mabel broke down. She confessed that she had bought poison. She had wanted me to suffer, to lose everything I had built. My chest felt tight. I couldn't speak. This was the same girl who braided my hair under mango trees, the same girl who swore she loved me forever. All her evil was exposed not because of my smartness, but because my mother's prayers had gone ahead of me. They dragged Mabel to the police station that same evening. I sat quietly on the back seat of the police van, my hands shaking, my heart heavy. I watched her cry, shout, and beg, but I felt no anger, only sadness. At the station, she confessed everything. She said she was tired of watching me succeed while she remained the same. She said it hurt her, that people clapped for me and forgot about her. I closed my eyes and remembered the days we shared, chewing gum under the sun, selling groundnuts after school, dreaming big dreams on broken benches. It was all gone now. Destroyed by jealousy. I returned to Abuja 2 days later. I didn't tell my staff what happened. I just smiled, worked harder, and thanked God every day. My salon grew. I opened 2 more branches. I started teaching young girls who had nothing, girls who still believed in hard work and kindness. I learned the biggest lesson of my life. Not everyone who walks with you is happy when you reach your destination. Some would rather see you dead than watch you shine brighter than them. But prayers build walls no enemy can climb. And love, real love, knows when it is time to let go and rise alone. Moral of the story: not every friend who eats with you wishes you well. Shine, but pray. Succeed, but stay watchful. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe for more real African stories full of truth, pain, healing, and hope. The end.